Any question you want to ask, you got it.
Okay.
Not even a problem.
So, we partners on this WhatItDoTv thing, and what is the reason you started WhatItDoTv?
Oh, that's easy, man. Got tired of the radio stations and things of that standpoint. Not giving the city that I'm in like the airplay for artists I felt like just was needing to be heard. So like social media started creating different ways and outlets, and I took a chance to just try and see what I can do with our music as far as getting it heard in different places. I just felt like there was music here in Winston that wasn't being heard in like New York, or wasn't being heard in like Cali, or Texas, just different states overall. And what happened was it started to be just for the city. The city went to states, and the states went to countries, and now it's just like, it's just all over the place now, man. Numbers are up and down depending on the consistency, but we still at it, and the fan base still strong, so we're just moving forward, hoping to branch out and do even bigger numbers. You know what I mean? It's a good feeling to know you got people who have never heard our sound, and they're interested in making inquiries about where the music's coming from and how they can get their hands on it. So that was a plus. But like I say, more importantly, me being the artist myself, I wanted people to hear my music, and I knew it was music out here that was just as good as mine, if not better. So I just felt like getting it put out there, you know.
So, you have WhatItDoTv. Outside of WhatItDoTv, you have you as an artist, OG Hanus.
Mm-hmm.
So, who is OG Hanus?
Ooh-wee, man, that's a good question. Even where I am now in life, man, I'm still trying to find my way around that, or through it anyway. Honestly, man, as an artist, man, I'm just somebody who, how can I explain it? There's always that individual in any craft or any situation, man, that holds ground to the foundated root of things. But at the same time, you know, hip hop changes, so you can't just keep a sound the same way. I think OG Hanus is just an artist within himself that sticks to the 90s discipline area of the hip hop craft, but is able to adapt to a lot of the new waves of hip hop. If that makes any sense. So it is what it is with that. But I'm just a full-fledged hip hop fan, and just want to keep the music, the art, and the craft going. Whether it's changing, whether it's different, just making sure it's authentic, original, and creative the way it should be. You know what I'm saying? So that's just, as an artist, that's just OG Hanus. You know what I'm saying? So.
So if you could take like 3 things out of anywhere and apply them to your local music community, for your local music community to adapt to, as well as somebody else's that might actually be watching this, their community, that would help both of those situations, so that we can grow a stronger music business community, so that these artists can start to understand what it is that they should be doing versus what they are doing?
That's a big question. And that's a question of what I would be able to provide.
No, just what, if you could just take,
or the 3 things that I feel like is needed.
Yeah, to that are like, these 3 things should be things of foundation that you
right. I feel what you're saying, that'll get us to the next level and standpoint. gotta say discipline first and foremost. I say discipline first and foremost because you gotta make up your mind whether you're going to be hobbyist or careerist first. You know, the hobbyist, he does it when he has a chance to do it.
And the career guy,
I think the careerist is the guy that's just like, regardless of what's going on, this is what I'm doing, you know. I think the careerist is a person that, it's not necessarily saying that he doesn't have a job or some other source of income while he's working on his music, but everything else is a milestone or a footstone towards getting the craft and the career towards the music out. Where I feel like a hobbyist is somebody that's just, I think they haven't gotten to the point to where they're willing to put it all on the line just yet. There's always a halt somewhere in there. Now, not to say that the halts are something that should be overlooked, because sometimes life does happen. You got things to do, you know what I'm saying? But the hobbyist will halt. Whereas the careerist is like, okay, yeah, the careerist is more the guy that's more like, okay, I got to work from, say, 3 to 10. I got a studio session from 10 to 6. And then I'm shooting a video from 8 to, you know what I'm saying? He's still going regardless. And like, even if he got to pick up the kids all of a sudden, or, you know, baby mom's got to get to the hospital, he's on that task also, but he still makes time.
Because the careerist also should be a realist.
Regardless of the fact, it's the goal, it's the dream, you know what I'm saying? So he stays on it, whereas the hobbyist is just like, well, you know, if I ain't really got enough to go to the studio, then it's this or that, so it's going to be that instead of this, you know what I'm saying? So like, and I'm as an artist myself, I dare say I'm more so on the hobbyist end, trying to get into careers end, because again, it's another thing about the careerist, like, until your music or whatever you're doing brings in the equivalent source of income for it to be a career, you're kind of still at hobbyist mode. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. And I don't think a lot of artists understand that. They think that's something that's a negative, but it's not. It's just a process.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So we got part one is the careerist knowing part one was discipline by itself, and then in that discipline we'll take 2 and 3 as two. Knowing the difference between whether you're the career or you're the hobbyer.
And I think
now we need 3.
Number 3, you gotta have a strong support team. I think 3 would be 2 things. I got in there because it's important. You're gonna have to have a strong support team and a strong business sense.
So foundation.
Yeah, you got to, man. And when I say strong support team, I mean everybody you're going to be working with has to want it just as bad, if not worse than you do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There really can't be excuses or slack-ass ends on that, you know, because a lot of times you're going to surround yourself with people that seem like they want it, but then when shit get thick, you know, they're either going to be too tired to do it or don't feel like doing it, and you still got to get it done. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's the main thing on that. Yeah, man, so you got to have a strong support team, and business-wise, you ain't up on your paperwork and things of that standpoint, man. I mean, what's the sense of you even doing it for money? Now, if you just somebody, again, in hobbyist mode, you know what I mean, who ain't really put yourself in a predicament to really chase the paper or accumulate the paper like that, then yeah, have fun with the music, do what you're doing. But if you're really going to take it serious and try and build a business around it and have a financial source of income from it, you need to be on your paperwork, A+. I mean, the whole shebang. BMIs, publishing, oh, man, you name it, man. If it's about government paperwork and registration to cover your ass, you want it all. And most of that stuff's ain't going to accumulate to more than about $1,000, man. Maybe a little more, depending on how you sufficing your shit or going about it, but like, it ain't much to it, man. You just gotta be willing to do, you know what I mean, the work, man.
We got about 10 seconds. Give me one of your great liners out of any one of your songs.
You gonna hit me like that?
7 seconds. 5.
Oh God,
4.
man.
3.
I got so many.
2.
I can't.